The first thing we have to do is to turn on the device here with this switch. You will see the logo appearing. And as you can see here, we have two buttons in which we can select different exercises. Here, for example, in deadlift, we can see this information in the screen: mean propulsive velocity, range of motion in centimeters, and peak velocity in meters per second. If we do more than just one rep, we can change between reps by using these switches. So if we see the bottom of the device, we can see some magnets. This is for attaching them to a disc in order to the device, so the device doesn't move when we take from the wire. So for placing it, for example, in bench press, we are going to use this Velcro strap or this roller hook. This is a magnet, as you can see. It goes just with a magnet, and it is better because if the barbell rolls, the magnets always gets in the bottom. So we attach this roller hook to the device, and we're going to place the roller hook here in this place. This is where I always put when I do bench press, because if I put the roller hook here, when I take out and when I add more plates, I have to take it out, and I don't know. It is better for me, more comfortable to place it here. Because if I place it here, my hands will touch it. So once we have it placed, the position of the device, it doesn't matter if the device is here or here. The most important thing is that the device is always placed in the same position. I mean, if today I'm using the device, place it here, and if tomorrow I take the device and I place it here, the results will change a little bit. So if I always place it here, I will know I won't have any problem. And if I move it a little bit, the results will continue being the same, so don't worry. I normally place the device so the barbell do a parallel line to the device. In bench press, my bench press is not vertical, has this position. This is my technique, is like you can see here with the wire. If I'm doing squats, for example, I always place the device below the barbell because my movement is almost vertical. So once the device is placed, we go to the tablet. You can use Android or iOS, it doesn't matter. You have to download the application from the App Store. And once you have the application downloaded, you first go to the settings and you go to Wi-Fi. You will see here the connection of the device because the encoder creates a hotspot and you can connect it from your tablet or iPhone or mobile phone. It will ask you for a password, and it is from 1 to 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? I have already connected, so it is not asking again. And after that, I go to the application, to speed4lifts. In your first time, it will ask you to create a user. You just need to use your email and a password, and you will have your user already created. Here in the left bottom, we can see different users. This is already in testing, okay? It will be launched in some weeks. But here, for example, this is my profile. We can see my email, my weight, my height. Here, this is coming soon. This is work in progress. This is a social community. Here we can see my progress, okay? For example, in bench press, this is my real progress in bench press. I can see here my everyday 1 rep max. If I go, for example, to a training session, this is my training session from the 7th of March of 2019. And here we can see the sets and all the reps. For example, my first set was with 90 kilograms with this velocity, mean propulsive velocity, 0.7 meters per second. This is the peak velocity, range of motion, and power. This info is so useful because our application, as you're going to see very soon, will tell you your maximum every day by using the velocity and the kilograms you are lifting and the weight you are lifting. And here in the left bottom, we can see the profiles. This is, for example, in bench press, this is a profile, okay, a load velocity profile. And it does mean the relationship between the 1 rep max and different percentages of the maximum and the velocity. By using this, we can estimate every day our 1 rep max. At the beginning, you will see here different equations, and they have been taken from many different research, such as Badillo and Sanchez Medina. They have taken a lot of people and they have done a research in order to get these equations. They can work very well for you, so they can estimate your maximum very well, but the reality is that every people is different. And it might be that this equation are not valid for you and the estimations are not good. In that case, here, you can create your own profile, okay? We're going to see it in some minutes, how to do it. But first of all, we are going to start doing a test. If we go to start, okay, it will appear to you in English. Right now it's in Spanish, but it will appear in English. We're going to add the weight. Let's say that I'm gonna lift 100 kilograms. And here we have some settings. This setting is the fatigue. I'm going to speak about it in some minutes, okay? Here we have a countdown. When the countdown is working, it doesn't matter if you lift or you do any movement to the encoder because it won't take any rep. Here we can activate the eccentric phase, so we can see the concentric and the eccentric, both of them. And here I'm going to attach you now another video in order to know how to use this filter, because this is so useful. So I have selected the weight I have on the barbell. Right now, as you can see, the barbell, we have just 20 kilograms, but this is for doing an example. So let's say we have this weight. I'm going to click here on start, and you have to ensure that this appears in green color connected. If it is in red color and if it appears as disconnected, this is because the Wi-Fi is not well connected. So I suggest you to turn on the Wi-Fi and to reconnect it. Now we can, okay, so here it will appear the mean propulsive velocity, power, peak velocity, and rates of motion. I'm going to do a test. Okay, in this set, I haven't lifted as fast as I can because this is just an example to see in a real scenario how to use it. You have to take in account that all the lifts must be lifted as fast as you can. Always, you have to lift as fast as you can, because if you don't lift as fast as you can, this velocity means nothing for you. So, I have lifted as fast as I can 100 kilograms. What happens? What happens is that once you start lifting, the velocity is going to drop down because you are accumulating fatigue. In this case, we can see that the first rep was the fastest one, okay, 0.69 meters per second. The second one a little bit lower, and the third one and the fourth one lower. With this information, if we click here on M, we will see that for each rep, we have this estimation of our maximum. So in my case, if I lift 100 kilograms at a 0.69 meter per second, my maximum will be 152 kilograms. It does mean that today I can lift 152 kilograms for one rep. This is my strength today. So if I had to train with my 70%, for example, I place it here, the number, and it will tell me the real weight I have to use for training with my real 70%. This is so useful because every day your maximum is going to change. If you don't sleep well, if you don't eat well, and for many different reasons, one day you will be better than other days. So the thing is that you always train knowing how well you are performing today. So this is a real set. We can go here to end, and we will see a resume of all the workout, the fatigue accumulated, how many kilograms I have moved. I have done with 100 kilograms 4 reps, so 400 kilograms. And I can save the workout or discard it. I'm gonna discard it now. And we're going to see now how to use the fatigue. I'm going to do another example with 100 kilograms. We're going to fatigue. We're going to activate 15% of the fatigue. The fatigue means the velocity loss. When you drop down your velocity, you are accumulating fatigue. And there are many research speaking about that. And for example, in the bench press, there is a 95% of correlation between the lactate and the ammonia accumulated in the body and the velocity drop. So when we speak about velocity drop or velocity loss, we are speaking about fatigue. Research suggests to use not more than a 20% for exercises like bench press or squat, because it would be too much for you and it doesn't seem to be better. So I suggest you to start trying it, testing it, start with a 10%, 15%, whatever, and you will see if you perform well or not. Because it is not the same if you train just once per week or if you train 5 per week. The fatigue is going to be very different. So for this example, I'm going to place a 15%. What is going to happen is that the device is going to give us audio feedback to stop the series when we are done. So let's see it. Start. Now we are connected. Because the velocity has dropped more than 15%, we can hear this sound, and it means that we have to stop our series because we have accumulated the fatigue we were looking for. Of course, this is an example, and it could be in the fourth or the fifth rep, but in this case, it was on the second one. So here we can see also the maximum with this velocity, okay? And the maximum every day, as I have told you, if I want to work out with a 60%, I should be using this weight. So these two variables, the intensity and the volume, are the most important one, and we can control them by using this application. I'm going to do another example, okay? See it. Now the velocity loss has dropped more than 15% in the third rep. So now I finish my set. When I personally work out, when I personally do bench press, I start warming up, okay? And after that, I place a very light weight. For example, for me, I don't know, my 40% or 30%. And I start doing singles, 1 or 2 reps, not more. And I rest for 30 seconds. And I see the velocity. Normally the velocity goes up between each single because I am activating myself. And when I see that the velocity don't go up, okay, when the velocity goes down or doesn't go more up, I start my training. This is because I am already activated. And after that, I always use the same weight to estimate my maximum. I use a weight between 70 or 80% to estimate my maximum with a very high reliability. In my case is, for example, 100 kilograms. And I always use this weight because if I see that I'm lifting this weight quicker, it is because, or faster, it is because I'm improving. So it is a very easy way to see the results. Apart from that, as you have seen, having this audio feedback, it tells you the velocity in loud. Having this audio feedback is so useful for athletes, because when they work out, when people normally work out, don't think about lifting so fast. They go to the gym and they just do their lifts. But if you give them this feedback, in every set, they are going to try to lift as fast as possible. And there are many results speaking about this. And people who lift faster or as fast as they can improve much more. And even so, people get more motivated when they have this feedback. So that could be a way to start implementing it. You can do even many other things by using the range of motion, the power. If you want, you can train between some velocities. If you're looking for very fast movements, you know how to control them because you know the velocity, and you know if the athlete is working out in the velocity zones you are looking for or not. But this is the more basic way to start using it. So if you are working out with many athletes, for example 5 or 6 athletes, a way to start using it with them could be, for example, after they warm up, they perform a lift with more or less their 70% of their 1 rep max. And after that, they can know which one is their 1 rep max and how many kilograms they have to put in the barbell. By doing so, and by giving them this feedback, they will start improving much more. Because as you will see, they will start lifting as fast as they can. And that would be a very easy way to start implementing it. If you want to go further, you can use the velocity loss, as we have spoken before. But you could start by doing just these 2 things. Now we have to see how to do a load velocity profile. If these profiles are not working well for us, okay, we can go here and to perform new test, we have to select the exercise, for example, bench press, and click here in new test. Here it's asking us for kilograms and the velocity. Here, as you can see, you have first record, second record, third, fourth, and fifth record. So how to know where to put this, how many kilograms to put here and how many meters per second put here? What we have to do is to do a 1 rep max test. It means I'm going to start lifting the barbell. I'm going to add 10 kilograms. I'm going to do a lift. I'm going to add another 10 kilograms or 20 kilograms, okay? And I'm going to continue adding weight until I reach to my maximum. And all these velocities and kilograms or weight, I'm going to write them on a paper. So after I have done this test, this 1 rep maximum test, I will come here to the application and I will place here my last 5 records, okay? In the 5th record, I'm going to put the weight of my 1 rep max. For example, let's say that my maximum is, I don't know, 120 kilograms, and I have lifted at 0.19 meters per second. Okay, this is my maximum. Here in the first record, I'm going to place from the 60 or 70%. Okay, let's say my 60%, and my 60% today is going to be something like 70 kilograms more or less. Okay, I'm going to see which of my lifts is next to 60%, and I'm going to put it here, and the velocity too. I'm going to take the second record, that it can be, for example, a 70% or whatever, and I'm going to put the velocity I have lifted at. I'm going to take the next record, and I'm going to add to the 4th record, that can be at 90% or 95%. When I have done this, I click here to save. Now I'm not going to save it, okay? And if the load velocity profile is good, we will see something like this, okay? These points can be in other positions and can be different, but the most important thing is this number. If this number is very near from 1, 0.99, 0.990, 0.98, and even 0.97, it does mean that the load velocity profile is good. Here you will read if the profile is good or if you have to do a retest. If the profile, for example, is 0.92, it does mean that you haven't done it well. So why? Maybe because you haven't lived as fast as you can in all sets. So you have to repeat it and do it always as quickly as you can, as fast as you can. And you will see a very, very good and almost perfect linear equation. And after that, when we do our lifts, these equations will be used for estimating our maximum.